Welcome back, everybody, to game number 2. MUFC facing First Departure, and First Departure facing elimination if they lose this game. I'm LD of Beyond the Summit, and I'm joined here today by Gray Flannel Slacks, also known as Big Baby Flax. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for that intro, LD.
Of course.
I just want to give you one warning. Mrs. Flax is working from home today, so you may hear child or baby noises in the background. They're not from her, they're from children, but she's tending them.
Okay, so if I hear crying, it could be your wife, it could be your kid, but there will probably be some tears involved.
There's not much in it, but yeah.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. So how you been, P-Flax? This is PyrionFlax, of course, for anyone who didn't recognize the voice, which, say what you will about P-Flax, but he's got a distinctive voice.
Say what you like about him. Yeah, I've been okay. I've been doing a lot working on the pack and stuff like that, and yeah, I'm pretty tired. Played a lot of poker this weekend, LD.
Poker.
Yeah,
I love
poker.
I love the
I played a hell of a lot of poker actually this weekend. So yeah, I was good for nothing on Saturday. I played poker on Sunday. I was hungover, so I did nothing all weekend. Didn't play no dotes.
What were you hungover on? Anything good?
8 hours of drinking and poker, I'd say. That was enough. Oh my god.
You know what? I forgot to show the draft for a good minute after we did the intro,
right.
But that's okay. We're showing it now. Don't worry, guys. You'll catch the majority of it.
Yeah.
So Pyrion, have you watched? Did you watch game 1? Did you watch game 1?
I watched the whole of game 1. I thought it was fantastic. Some awesome team fights. Team fight at the end seemed to be going on and on. It was awesome. So yeah, I watched all of game 1. I absolutely loved it. And I thought that MUFC did well, had a good start, and then I thought First Departure came back into it beautifully. Marana was fantastic, and then that one big mistake. I don't know what she was doing. She sort of raced to Roche. I guess she was going to put an arrow across Roche and see if they were there, and they just caught her. It was unpleasant, but a big throw, big old throw.
Game of throws. It's
yeah.
We've seen some back and forth. I think the polite way to put it is teams have an advantage, and then the enemy team takes it back. The rude or hateful way to put it is that they're throwing the game. So it's all a matter of perspective.
I mean, if you looked at the golden XP graph that you were showing, it was like the mountain stage of the Tour de France. It was ridiculous.
You've been waiting to use that analogy for a while now, haven't you?
I have it on my list of analogies that I keep tattooed onto my forearm.
There you go. All right, P-Flex, let's talk about this draft. As far as what we see right now, some classic MUFC heroes. We've got the Nature's Prophet, probably to be handled by Sharky, and the Night Stalker, which I believe it's Ohaiyo that plays it, which means a solo mid Night Stalker, either an offlane or a jungle prophet. And then this interesting little character we call the Shadow Demon, who is also known as the bane of Darkseer's existence. Try to surge away, he disrupts you, or he demonic purges you once he hits 6, and then you're just a sad, sad cone-headed man.
Yeah, I hate Shadow Demon. He's one of those guys that surprises me continually, and I'm still yet to really understand what all his spells do. But yeah, he's terrifying. I know when I'm Darkseer up against him, Disruption is just horrible, absolutely horrible. I mean, Night Stalker we've seen quite a bit, and when he gets big, he's terrifying. But no one's picked Bounty Hunter yet. Bounty Hunter seems to have been awesome, since a couple of patches ago. He's unstoppable. Why hasn't he been picked or banned?
Well, he was picked quite early last game. He's either been picked or banned in almost every game I've cast as of late. But you're right. He's in the pool, and on paper, it seems like a really nice combo. You've got Prophet, you've got Night Stalker, mobile heroes who can gank effectively. Then you throw Track Gold on top of that, and...
Ouchie.
And ouchie.
Yeah.
Here's the...
I mean, I always like with Bounty Hunter, it's great for setting up a gank. You can sort of scout with him and then TP, drop in the air cav can roll in the form of Nature's Prophet.
Here's the thing, though, is First Departure have a very painful team to tower dive. You've got Surge to run away. You've got Vacuum if you overextend to pull you back into the fight. And, of course, Surge can be... An Ion Shell can chase you down. But more importantly, you have Jakiro's Ice Path and Fissure. So you've got the Fissure bros, basically. I'm going to call it the three-headed dragon, because this is a lot of AoE lockdown if you get overextended.
Yeah, and then you've got Queen of Pain blinking in there and screaming all over you. Shadow Fiend. He's even scarier than Shadow Demon.
Did you ever play Red Alert? Period.
I did play Red Alert.
Ricky. No Bounty Hunter, man. It's all Ricky.
Wow.
The reason I ask you if you played Red Alert is they had nukes in that game, and
Yes.
this first departure lineup is like a team full of just nuclear explosions in terms of the amount of magical damage they can dish out in a small area in a team fight. So I'm pretty excited to see this lineup.
Yeah, you've got your pyro macro pyre thing that Jakiro does. I mean, Echo Slam. My goodness, if you can get some dudes ice pathed, efficient Echo Slam. Yeah, this is terrifying. Plus, the Shadow Fiend does a thing where he's dead people fly all over the place. You know, yeah, pretty scary. And vacuum and wall, of course.
Oh yeah,
they're all about the team fight. All about the team fight. I'm looking forward to it.
I'll introduce first departure. I will give you the honor of introducing MUFC. We have Pete playing the Darkseer, cone-headed man, and you could give your little rant about the cone-headed man if you like later. It's pretty entertaining in my book. But Poisson as the solo mid Queen of Pain, and frankly, Pyrion, I felt he was a bit of a weak link last game. Hopefully, he steps it up here. Lubby on the Earthshaker. Decent play from him last game. Miracle was the impressive one. He was the Marana. Now we get to see another kind of skill shot type hero. He'll be playing the Shadow Fiend. Gone for mass stats, the early Wraith Band to help you last hit, get those souls coming quickly. And finally, it's infatuated on the support Jakiro.
Okay, looking at MUFC. On Ricky, we have Ken, who was a pudge in the last game. On Shadow Shaman, we have Ling. I can't remember who he was in the last game. On Shadow Demon, I always get him and Shadow Fiend mixed up, and I will do the whole game. We have Net, and we've got Ohai, or is it Ohai? I can never remember. Ohaiyo, right? Ohaiyo on the Night Stalker, and Sharky on Nature's Prophet.
Sharky on the Nature's Prophet. He'll be in this off lane. He is trying to do this very annoying little tactic of pulling the creep wave. Let's see how prepared First Departure are for it. They have Ice Path and Fissure. Do they want to blow both just to stop this initial pull? It looks like they don't. Or if they did, they're a little slow to react to this. They do have the Ice Path. I think they're not going to be able to stop this. Meanwhile, top lane. Uh-oh, this is bad. This is bad news. There's a disruption. This could be maybe a first blood. Certainly a lot of damage. They're trying to trap him. They don't quite get the block. Good job by Net, though. He tried to create that block with the illusions in the hero. Couldn't quite lock the Darkseer in place.
It's unfortunate. I often, if I'm going to be solo laning, I take Iron Shell, and then sometimes I wish I'd taken Surge immediately because it is so handy for escaping. But yeah, you got to get that early farm. Where's he going to? Where's he going?
He's going to go farm the safe camp, get level 2, and then we'll probably see him go back to that lane.
Right. That's smart. I'll have to remember to do that.
Yeah, it depends on the lineup. Some lineups they can't kill you. Like if all they have is, a couple of auto attackers or anyway, you have a slower stun, you're fine. But you're up against a Shadow Demon, and it's not just the Shadow Demon. You got to figure the Shadow Shaman's doing some pulls because he's been off the map since the game started, which means. Yeah, you need level 2. That's pretty clear.
You could be a chicken before you know it.
Or just those
worse.
Those ugly little yellow shackle things. Which, speaking of which, he has gone for shackle. So
has he really at level 1? Gosh.
Yeah, you normally don't see it, but in this lane, he's not the primary harassing support. Right.
He's just there to lock him down.
Yeah, he's there to do a lot of pulling. It's Shadow Demon who sort of is your, in the lane, in your face kind of hero. Who will drive the Darkseer back, and Shadow Shaman's doing the pulls. If he comes in, it's to go for a kill, not to harass. Oh, Haystern picked
look at this, Shadow Shaman's pulling further up as well. He's pulling from this earlier camp. Oh no, he's just stacking it. Sorry, he pulled it right up to the tower. I thought
he's doing the stack, the stack, and then the pull, but he doesn't. Oh, you got to block this creep wave. You have to get in front of them and then block them to slow them down, or you can't do the pull with that timing. Bit of a blunder there, not the end of the world. I love this from Sharky, by the way. You see this Nature's Prophet right now? Just chilling up on the hill.
This is such a cool move. I sometimes see people do this at the start of the game before the first camp spawns there. You TP up there and block it. It's quite a nifty little move.
I gotta point out, Poisson is having a totally different game from what we saw last time. He's 14-7. Ohaiyo is 4-0. This is a brutal beatdown. I think he's a little mad after that last game, and he's got something to prove.
Well, he had Ohaiyo down to about a third health a minute ago, and I think he was cowering by the tower, and had to get his bottle back to him. But he good early harassment. I mean, that's great early farm. 17-8. Holy cow! I dream of that.
You know, the unfortunate thing for him, though, is Ohaiyo has his bottle. He is going to be able to bottle Crow if he needs to, which is pretty essential against Queen of Pain. We might see him try and get a rune. Maybe his team will help him, but you know, he's still going to be getting farm and levels up, despite the fact that Poisson's had the start. And that's just the annoying thing about dealing with a bottle rush, is it's almost impossible to stop it, unless you have a dual lane, or unless the enemy hero doesn't have a good farming nuke. But yeah, you use a void, you get a creep. You only need to get 4 or so, and then you've got your bottle.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Pyrion, so far in this game, not a whole lot of action. A bit of a slower start.
Yeah. I mean, these, you know, I think often it's sort of, if I were ULD, I'd say save my voice a bit, because I think we got some big old team fights coming in a little while. And you've been casting these games solidly for the last 6 years, it seems like. So, how many games have you done?
They're not going to go for him. But bottom lane. Bottom lane, this is trouble. Nice fissure block. Sharky, 1 raise, 2 raises, connects, and Miracle strikes again. This guy, impressive play from him, nailing his raises, hitting his arrows well last game. All in all, Miracle has played quite well for a bit of an unknown player in Southeast Asia.
Is he really? I mean, but you could say the same. Didn't you say this is kind of a new team, right?
Well, they're a bit of an unknown team compared to a team like MUFC.
Yeah, of course, yeah. But, I mean, geez, they've shown themselves to be more than capable here. If it wasn't for that Mirana mistake, I think that was really the turning point in that game. If it wasn't for that, who knows what might have happened. Because it was close.
It was damn close. And like you said, they're off to a better start in several lanes. The support, last game, the support gave up first blood off the bat. There was a roaming Sandkid who killed mid very early. Poisson died. And then the bottom lane died. Their offlane Prophet got killed by Pudge Jakiro. With a pretty early, I think it was even a level 1 hook after an Ice Path was enough to get the kill. But this game, all their lanes are doing pretty well. Sharky gets caught. This is going to be another kill. Where's that raise? He will hit it. Only uses the C raise, though, but it'll be enough for the kill. Here comes the smoke gank. Here comes a rotation in mid. MUFC, they want to try and kill this Queen of Pain off. She's already level 6, and, well, this is going to be tough.
33 and 16. She basically hasn't missed the last hit with Deny, it feels like. Who's this coming around here? Shadow Shaman, tucking around the back?
Oh, this ain't gonna work.
No.
Well, maybe it will. Actually, Infatuated's pretty low. Well, oh, Shadow Fiend just used all of his raises. He's out of mana. It is actually gonna work beautifully. In comes the Riki as well. He's level 6. Wants to go. Blinks in over the top. Catches out the Shadow Fiend. Where's that Cloud? Not dropping it yet. They don't need it. They're going to get the kill. And a disaster. If he had his raises, maybe that goes differently. Instead, Infatuated will die. Next in line, probably going to be Lubby. This might be all 3 heroes dead in that bottom lane. It's just a pack of monsters.
It is a pack of monsters. It is. Look at. I mean, the timing there was absolutely perfect. The Riki TP'ing in and Ohaiyo rotating bot. Oh man, that was beautiful.
Brutal. Just absolutely brutal.
Brutal full.
Brutal full.
Yeah.
There's a new word for you guys. This is all about the English.
That is copyright PFlax. I just want to add that.
I don't think
people need to pay me every time they use it.
I don't think anyone's going to be using that anyway. So.
Yeah.
Probably don't need to copyright it.
Shadow Demon. What's he up to? Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the nipping the courier across. What's he got there? Tranquil boots. Okay. I need to buy those more. I never buy them. They seem such a good item.
They're really good for roaming. Speaking of roaming, they've all rotated towards mid. Ohaiyo hits level 6. Double damage rune picked up on him. It's a bit under level because he's had these supports in this lane. He rotated to gank bottom. Poisson's been denying a lot of creeps. A lot of creeps. He's up to 18 denies. My goodness.
LD, Orb of Venom on Riki. Is that I never ever see that item. Is that a legit item?
Oh yeah, it's a very cost-effective chasing item for Riki. So if you want to be active around the map in the lane, go for early kills. It's great. It's absolutely great for that. It's not going to do anything for you if you just want to. If you just want to farm, you just rush your Diffusal Blade. Oh, bottom lane. This is trouble. This is more like Shadow Fiend. Oh, by the way, he's rushing a naked Lothar's Edge and a naked Shadow Blade. This could be big. He's lurking. Nope.
Oh, there's 4 down there now. I think they might be trying to go on Sharky.
So you can use this Shadow Amulet just to try and bait your opponents into a bad position. Poisson jumps in. Isn't going to actually go for the kill, though. And now disconnect from Lubby.
That Shadow Amulet is a great item. That's new, right? They added that as a part of something else, right?
It is. It used to be Shadowblade was Claymore, Quarterstaff, and Recipe. Now it's the Shadow Amulet and it's the Claymore.
Right.
It's not really that effective of an item, but against a hero like Riki, you can just Shadow Amulet inside a cloud, and maybe you live. If they buy Sentry Wards, it's not going to help you top lane, though. They're going to go onto the Darkseer, and this Cone Head is Cone Dead, Blink Stripe. There you go.
Oh dear, his extra brain definitely leaking out over the ground there. I love the blood stain. Sort of roughly in the shape of a Darkseer. I guess it needs to be a little pointier near the top. Like someone's dropped an ice cream.
Oh man. I would actually pay money for a dropped ice cream death animation for my Darkseer.
That's another cosmetic item they can have is custom corpses. What is Shadow Shaman doing here? He's trapped on the wrong side of the river. You don't want to bump into her in the woods.
Oh, this maybe you do. Maybe you do. Fissure is there though. Poisson will die anyway. Lubby will secure that kill. Ohaiyo has another void. He could go out infatuated. He will do so. He's got a haste through. No, he runs into the ice path. Juki, not nearly enough.
Poor Takira.
Don't worry.
He's that kind of guy. He's a little bit unfortunate. You've got to, you're kind of flimsy, but you've got to be in and around the fights, dropping off your ice path, dropping your macropyre and your breath and all this kind of stuff. But if you get caught, you're absolutely boned.
This is very interesting. This early Shadowblade, is he actually... Oh, he is going to go in man mode from Shadowfeed, and he's missing because of that silence from Nightstalker. It does give you a chance to miss, but Poisson is here. In comes the Earthshaker as well. Fissure already used. Are they going to chase? Are they going to dive this? They are not.
The trees might kill him.
Oh, God. Don't die, Miracle. Don't give up on life.
You big demon thing, you.
Regeneration.
Oh, boy. So, technically, it looks like a bit of a lead for First Departure, leading by a tiny bit of gold. They did get the Tier 1 bottom. They haven't lost any towers yet. As far as experience goes, though, it is a hefty advantage for the Dire, and generally, having a gold advantage early on, not as helpful as having a level advantage. There are exceptions to this. If you're trying to get an early mechanism, run a push strategy, then it can go the other way, but generally the levels are more important, and, well, that's for MUFC lead.
Yep. Oh, what's this? Queen of Pain sneaking around the back now. It's going to be tough to catch this Nightstalker. It always seems to be tough to catch Nightstalker. Dude is fast.
Does he have his wings now? If they fix that bug. No, still not fixed. He's got these, like, the little stubs kind of move, because, like, the wings flap around.
Right. And if you look now with the smoke, you can see the smoke where his wings should be. If you look at him smoked up, you can see there should be wings in there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, they're like smoking stubs.
Right, you can see like little smoky shadows of where his wings should extend, but they don't.
Oh, the things you learn when nothing is happening in the game.
Yeah, someone pointed out to me on the... the Halloween map is gone. I've just realised. God, I'm so dense. Did they turn the Halloween map off for the tournament?
No, I think you have an option when you're creating a private game. I'm not sure, though, but bottom line, this should be the death of Darkseer. Yeah! He's just...
Oh, goodness.
He's just ping-ponging all around. In fact, the Fissure's gonna whiff. Maybe not.
Instead, they might catch Shadow Demon. Oh. How did they interrupt him with the ice path, right?
Yep, not able to escape, but MUFC are going to get a Tier 1 top, and frankly, I think they're quite happy to trade. Ken's got his Yasha up. I don't know, this Shadow Feed, he rushed a Shadowblade, and actually, I saw Korok. I think he played in your little Halloween competition with Kawa.
Oh, yeah?
He's a pro player for Complexity.
Right.
He rushes the Shadowblade, and then he just uses it to kill the supports. Just farm the enemy supports, get a lot of gold, and relieve some pressure from your team. And he's just not quite finding the kills, at least not in the previous games. He's thinking about going in. He's got this... Oh, he's just like, well, I'm not helping you there.
Hardly hurt at all.
Sorry, that's the phone. Hold on one sec.
Nope, no problem at all. Lane, looking for the backstep mid, has Dust picked up. You'll notice Sentry Wards probably going to be next in line as well for this team. Sentry Wards are picked up on Shadow Demon, and they have 2 sets of Dust. They are fully prepared for the Shadowblade. The good news, though, for First Departure is you're forcing them to buy items that give detection. You don't really want to buy a gem. If you lose it, you're up against a Riki, and suddenly Riki's fighting against a gem. That's not good for your team.
They've got a ward here in the middle of the river, though, have they not? I can't click on it because there's too many blooming creeps out of the way. Out of the way!
Yeah, both teams have wards, sentry wards, as well as 2 sets of dust on MUFC.
Ouch. And here goes Ricky now. Look at this. He's going to bump into... Look at that. They walked right past each other.
They don't know each other is there.
That's so
It's
cool.
pretty funny. Could have been.
I think when you're invisible, you should be able to see other invisible dudes. Like in Lord of the Rings, when Frodo puts on the ring, he can see invisible stuff.
That's an interesting idea. I don't think it would work from a balance perspective, but
No, it wouldn't work at all.
kind of would make Bounty Hunter a shitty counter to
Right.
Riki, for example. There you go. Also would make Broodmother horrible against any other invisible hero. And
You can see them, but no, you can't see them. No, you can't. You can talk to them, maybe. There's like a special chat channel for invisible people.
you gotta sound like that actually. So since we're at a very passive point, as far as sort of our farm goes, Prophet is going for more of the late game build. Has the Midas picked up more of a farming Prophet. Queen of Pain is going to come in. Ling's hiding in the trees. They've spotted him. They've caught him out. The Fissure is going to whiff. Now Ling's in trouble. Nonetheless, the rotation's coming in. Can they kill him off? Haste turned up with the Queen of Pain. Easy kill. Blinks in. Drops the Scream. Now Infatuated in trouble. And not actually in trouble because he's got more heroes here. Here comes the backstab. Poisson wants another. He wants net.
Oh, silenced.
Oh, net's going to drop. Nice Fissure there. First departure, just having more heroes, at the forefront of these fights. MUFC just all about the farm this game. I think
They've got the big team fight spells. I mean, it's what can you do when you're fissured and ice pathed and what can you do? Vacuum. It's a lot to do, no matter what level you are.
Well, you just need a good cloud from Riki. That's what it comes down to. If you hit a good cloud, that wins your team the fight. But at the same
True.
time, if you don't hit a good cloud, you're getting 5-man wipe. So you're right. It's risky, and MUFC don't want to take the risk.
Well, I mean, they saw that even with a ton of farm, that they could beat Mavis in the last game. So I mean, Marana was enormous, and I think MUFC, like you said, you were saying when you were commentating the last game, they just got that experience. They played a lot of games together, and they don't seem to make those mistakes. That was a nice catch on Ricky mid.
Speaking of mistakes, Ken is making one right now. He's gonna get picked off. Been farming all game. You cannot afford to give away those kills. That's a lot of gold, a lot of experience. Sentry wards deployed mid. And Shadow Fiend is our lead farmer. He's got an Ogre Club. And something that should be mentioned, or an Ogre X rather, something that should be mentioned, Pyrion, is when you have a BKB, the smoke cloud actually doesn't affect you. So you won't be silenced, you won't be missing. It's a pretty big counter to...
So that tails off massively in the later game then, Ricky's big thing, right?
Oh yeah, well it depends if you're able to get it off. Ohio's dropping low, the final killing raise is there. And Miracle gets an important kill. Night Stalker now being shut down. First Departure just doing a better job of pressuring and finding these kills, and MUFC just seem a bit bewildered.
Shadow Fiend is just one of those heroes as well. If he starts to get on a roll, oh my goodness.
Oh, this is going to be another kill.
Everybody down.
This might be another kill. Ken gets caught with the Ice Pet. There's your Scream. They have the Queen of Pain ult. She will unload. Unleashes that. The Scream, not enough. I don't think Ken will die. Not going to miss through that cloud. Bad luck for Ken. Also just sloppy play. They keep on going in one at a time, just thinking, first departure won't have sentries. They won't be prepared for me. And guess what? They were.
Yep. Under what's the word? Under thingying. There's an
underestimating.
Thank you, LD. That's why you have brains.
There you go.
But they might lose this T2 mid might drop.
This is the one thing MUFC have going for them. This, however, is not what they have going for them. Sad Prophet.
Oh my goodness.
Very sad Prophet.
Queen of Pain might drop. Nope. She gets out. Oh no. They got it. They got it.
Oh god. Here comes Miracle. Again, just doing such work this game. One more raise. He's probably just going to wait for the Shadow Blade cooldown. Surging in. And then the Ice Path cutting off the retreat. Miracle gets another. PyrionFlax, he's 400 gold away from his BKB. This is trouble. This is big.
Yeah. They've got to stop him. I mean, he gets to that stage where he just starts doing... His auto attack is just enormous. Absolutely enormous. It's terrifying.
And he's not going to be missing. He won't be missing once he has his BKB. And there's not a whole lot they can do about it either. Riki went for an early Yasha, which is not a bad item, but You know, you really need a Diffusal Blade right now. You really need your BKB right now. He doesn't have either. Infatuated might get caught, but the Fissure is there. Stunning multiple heroes. TP forward. Sprout onto the Earthshaker. Here's the turnaround. Here's the pickoffs. And the TP away from Darkseer. They lose the 2 supports. Not a disaster, but, you know, first departure, giving away some kills. They probably don't want to.
But that's nice from MUFC. Like, they lost the fight, but they're right back in there and they pick off any mistakes. Like, that was, I think, what we saw in the last game. MUFC, they were kind of on the back foot, but they spotted a mistake, and they absolutely capitalized on it. That's where their danger is.
The wall is here. It's almost a level 2 wall as well. He just needs, like, 3 creeps. The tower's gonna die before he gets it. Conehead really wanted to drop that vacuum wall. You know he did.
Oh, there's nothing like it. I die so many times rushing in foolishly. Surge, run in there, wall and vacuum, just because it's so satisfying.
It's just like a delicious looking treat. You just want to take a big bite out of it.
It's true. But look at this smoke gank. Are they going to run right past the ward here? No, there aren't any.
Well, again, you're not going to see them when they're smoked, unless there's also a sentry there. And even then, you have to be...
Yeah, no, I mean, if there was a sentry ward, because there were sentry wards all over the map, but there aren't at the moment.
Yeah, now, of course, they won't see you unless they're actually just holding their camera over that area, which... it's more...
Their courier just got killed, by the way.
That's not good. Did it have anything on it? Is there any big... Do they have the BKB? They have the BKB on the Shadow Fiend. Looks like... Oh, Earthshaker's almost got his Blink Dagger. Doesn't have it yet. Poisson's gonna get caught at mid. There is a 3-hero vacuum wall. Macro Pyron!
That was brutal!
Well, that just happened.
Face is melting!
That was...
Unbelievable!
That was face melting action.
That's perfect. Like, if you can time the vacuum and any other AoE spell, it's just... I mean, then think about this, they've got Echo Slam as well. They don't even use Echo Slam. You've got Vacuum and Echo Slam, Vacuum and the Scream, you've got even Vacuum and Macro Pyre. It just synergizes very well.
I guess the good news is the vacuum wall is down, so First Departure aren't going to go high ground. But here, there also wasn't a Shadow Fiend there, who, by the way, is sitting at almost 10k gold. Nobody else is really even in his neighborhood. He is so far ahead.
What's he waiting for? What's he saving for?
He's only got 950.
Oh, he's gonna... I thought you said 10k gold. You mean total? Total that he's had. Net worth. Holy cow.
Yeah, no, he doesn't have 10k gold banked.
That would be... You said sitting on 10k. I thought, why?
That would probably mean that the admins left enabled cheats on. And MUFC, despite losing the tier 2 mid and just getting absolutely destroyed, curb stomped, really, they're gonna go for Roshan. They're gonna take it unopposed.
Why are First Departure so far back? They all ran back to base, even though they were... to me, they had great position and they just want to fight. Why'd they give up the sort of field position like that?
Maybe they didn't expect it. You know, it's one of these things where MUFC just kind of went for it there, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Also, First Departure, you know, backed off. They wanted to defend that top lane. This is where the Prophet comes into play, because, well, he keeps the lanes pushed, puts some pressure on that top lane, and he can just instantly enter the Roche pit. A little bit of luck, a little bit of superior map positioning, and...
Yeah. That ward, I think they might have seen them sort of jogging past on their way back to base and taken a chance. Who knows?
Yeah, the ward in the mid lane definitely could have let the Dire seen the Radiant retreating back, and well,
yeah, they're going to take it out.
This is big. Now they have a BKB on the Riki, and you know, speaking of heroes that are going to be happy to BKBs, this counters almost everything except for the Shadow Fiend's auto attacks, which are scary, but they're not instantly kill you scary. They're just make you sad and make you not want to take too many auto attacks scary.
Yeah. I mean, he's got the, I thought the next item he would be getting will be, like, something that gives you crits, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so then it gets scary.
That's the build that Korok went for, and I think I've done it in a couple of pub games. It's a really fun build.
Yeah.
You get Shadowblade, you get Crystallis or Daedalus, and if you hit a Shadowblade crit, that's just a support hero instantly dead, and a lot of carries and even semi-carries can die pretty quickly to that.
Exactly.
Yikes.
What are they paused for? What's going on here?
I want explanations. I want answers.
That's what this. If this was a pub game, there'd be a big question mark. Everybody'd be putting question marks.
There would just be...
Pause the game?
I don't even know if there'd be a question mark. There would just be an immediate unpause and then...
Yeah, that's true.
F you,
Can I-
GG, noob, scrub, reported, banned.
Maybe I could press F9 and unpause. Let me. Should I? I daren't. I daren't. Let's try it. It didn't do anything. Damn! Thank God.
Yeah, they actually they don't allow spectators to influence the game like that.
Yeah.
Good.
I would think I'm a little more than a spectator, LD. John Madden could say, "Game on," you know, blow the whistle. Give him. They should give John Madden a flag.
In your dreams, Pyrion. In your dreams.
Flag on the play. Who threw that? Madden.
Oh boy. So for anyone just tuning in, this is game number 2. It's first departure behind 0-1. It's MUFC 1 win away in this best out of 3 for moving on to the semifinals. You're watching the GEST Dota 2 playoffs, and of course I'm LD, and he's PFlax, he's PyrionFlax, he's a guy you've probably heard that voice, and soon he'll have an announcer pack. But Pyrion, forget about all that because the game is unpaused.
It is. Let's roll.
Let's roll. Okay, start rolling.
All right. Say something.
No, you say something.
Oh man! All right. Well, you got
Bottom lane.
4 dudes coming bot.
Oh,
this
Fisher.
could be big.
There's a
Fisher
BKB.
catches Ohaiyo.
Oh, they will force it out. Bit of a blunder there, I think, by Miracle, not waiting a little too long, or rather popping the BKB too quickly instead of just waiting a little bit longer. But it's okay.
And now it only lasts 9 seconds next time he uses it. Of course, remember that's crucial second could make a difference.
Oh.
This really want to get this Night Stalker.
Not the hero you want to initiate upon. He's tanky. He's not doing a ton of damage. You got to focus someone else. The supports would be ideal. The Riki wouldn't be bad. Instead, well, they're just gonna back off. Also,
He seems to be flying across the ground. Is he hasted or something? He was sort of flying. Yeah. Okay. That's bizarre. Without the wings, it looks even weirder.
It's really a great reason not to chase him, is because he's not only Night Stalker, but he's also a hasted Night Stalker.
Right.
As though he weren't fast enough already.
And it's nighttime.
So, right now, Sharky farming that top lane, getting pretty close to a site device. And this is a really important game to get one in, especially for him, because Queen of Pain is rushing a site device of her own. Darkseer, maybe even going for a BKB. He's got an Ogre Club. It could be an Aghanim Scepter. It wouldn't surprise me, though, if it's a BKB. And if you can scythe up either of those heroes, just hex them and then kill them, you win the fight. You win the fight instantly. Same for the Earthshaker as well.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, Earthshaker, but I don't know. It's a bit different, I think, for first departure. They've got 3 heroes who could legit sort of change the fight. Darkseer, Earthshaker, and even Jakiro. Ice Path is, if you can land a really good Ice Path, that's absolutely huge. And then Macro Pyre as well. So I don't know. It's tough to you couldn't focus down like when you get those games where it's all about the Enigma or it's all about the tide sort of ult. I think it's a little bit different because they've got Darkseer and Earthshaker and Jakiro. But and of course, Shadow is absolutely huge.
That's like, I'm trying to think, what's the appropriate analogy? Oh, top lane. It's not just an illusion. That's like having an axe and a chainsaw and, a cleaver, a butcher's cleaver, and you just have to like slice up your lunch meat a little bit. Like you probably have a tool.
Poisson just got melted mid by MUFC. They just jumped her.
Meanwhile, Kent's got the Aegis and he BKBs while 3 heroes dive onto him. Gets a kill and gets out. And do they have detection? They do not. They can't find him. Where's that vacuum? 8 seconds to go. They really well. He burns him down with the Ion Shell. What a play.
Nice.
What a play. Here comes Shadow Fiend as well. He wants to make something. Nope, nothing's going to happen. That's trouble.
Oh,
that's trouble.
That was like 3 pickoffs basically in the space of a minute, and it just came out of nowhere. They got Queen of Pain, and then they caught Riki. No, sorry, they got Queen of Pain, then they got Darkseer, and when did they get Earthshaker?
He died. He was the first hero to die bottom. They went
right.
They went on a Riki. Earthshaker blinked and tried to Echo Slam. Riki pops the BKB right as that happens, so he doesn't get stunned. He just turns around and kills all those supports who don't have an answer for the BKB. There's no Beastmaster Roar. There's no Black Hole, and they just melted.
Wow. This Riki is getting, he could be a problem.
I'm not sure about this Scythe of Ice rush on Queen of Pain. So we see it a lot. We see it fairly often in Southeast Asia, but normally when players do it, they get it at like that 18-20 minute mark. Getting it at this point in the game you need a BKB. Against Silence, against Hex, against Shack, I could go on all day. And the Cloud is the big
It
thing.
would have saved her mid, absolutely, because she could have popped it and blinked out. So that was a problem. She got ward trapped and melted really fast. Yeah, you're right. It seems like a strange item to get on her. Yeah.
It's not a bad item, it's just like the timing that she got it and the game situation where she got it probably isn't ideal. They're going to look for a big wraparound, and will they actually find anyone? Lane looks to be in trouble. Net looks to be in trouble. Where's that Shadowblade crit? Where's that Shadowblade crit? There's only creeps.
Nice
gonna
tip
lift.
there as well.
Oh, I don't think they're going to find Ling. Look at Ling. I think he's going to live through all this. BKB forced out. Miracle is dropping low to his own illusions. Another BKB charge, not really used the way he would like. Meanwhile, mid lane, creeps are attacking the base. Sharky's pushing that top tier 2, and still they haven't found this stinking Shadow Shaman.
Or Shadow Demon. Look, there's Shadow Demon down the bottom here as well.
Yep, this is just obnoxious. Blink in, sight device up on Ken. Now they're going to find a pick, and he doesn't have the Aegis this time. It was already used previously. He dies. So, as well as the supports dodged away, Riki gets caught.
I don't know if you were watching the fight bot, but Night Stalker ran right past Jakiro, and then Jakiro couldn't catch Ken. He missed him with the Ice Bath and with the Dragon's Breath, and he got away.
Oh, Miracle, he's got 1 second to go. He's going to spot out lane. War Trap is here, but you can Shadow Blade and try to run away. No, you can't. The shackles are there. Miracle explodes, popped like a pinata.
Oh, man. What was he doing in there?
Well, he was waiting for a Shadow Blade to cool down. Was about to. He could have killed that Shadow Shaman if he had 1 or 2 more seconds. Got caught, got War Trapped, then got shackled up. Just a few seconds too late.
Brutal. BKB makes you immune to hexing and shackles as well.
Yes, it does. You can't be shackled. You can be. You can be shexed. You can be shackled. You can be shackled or hexed before you BKB, but once you pop it, no way to. Those abilities won't remove it. Or won't go through it, rather.
Yeah.
So,
but some will. It's weird the way there are sort of exceptions. I find it hard to remember them.
Dota is one big book full of exceptions. I mean, it's just an endless list. The exceptions have exceptions, have exceptions, have, exceptions and that sort of thing. So it's good for memory, I suppose. It really makes you work to remember it all.
I think, look at this, MUFC might be thinking, well, they were kind of, actually, no, they were loitering around Roche, but there's still much too long to go, so I think they're actually going to, have they got smoke? What are they going to do here?
I'm not sure, but they have a decent lead. 5,000 gold, 5,000 experience or so. It's not overwhelming, but it's significant, and Roche is respawning soon, which they're not going for it yet, but expect to see the prep happening soon. Miracle will be spotted on the high ground by Ling. Frankly, this is just aggressive. This is just ultra-aggressive positioning.
Yeah, it is. It's weird. I felt like Mavis had it there for a minute. They were sort of in control, and we were worried about the Shadow Fiend, but MUFC are just too good.
Well, it's good, I suppose. You do see 3 heroes bottom, but at the same time, if they have a ward there, Shadow Fiend could just charge it, and basically, if anybody else comes, you're dead, and you don't have backup. There's 2 heroes towards top, 3 heroes towards top, and 1 mid. There's nobody in position to help you, so it's a little bit ballsy, to be honest. But hey, it's working.
He's got his blink dagger. He can get away if he sees Miracle making a move up towards the steps. He can get away.
That's true. He can if he's quick on the fingers. He definitely can. And
with this pause might help him actually.
he may just blink away. It looks like the unpause the game will be resumed. And what do you know?
There you go.
Period. You are a master of predictions. You clearly can see the future.
Yeah. Well, the stream is delayed, of course. So my brain is not. I'm actually watching the game 2 minutes into the future. So.
Most people watch with a 2-minute delay. You watch with 2 minutes advance notice of what's going to happen.
Exactly, yeah. It's confusing. Who's about... Well, okay, Miracle's defending top here against Riki and Shadow Demon.
He's not far off a Daedalus, and frankly... the way that the enemy team is building, no one's really going for physical DPS on MUFC side. Riki's gone for this, jack-of-all-trades build. He's gotten the Yasha up. He has that Vlad's the BKB. Tanky, but oh, blink in. Hex on the poisson. Where's that vacuum? Where's that wall? It will hit, but the BKB keeping them alive. Ling first one to drop. Now the turnaround perhaps to come. Prophet in trouble. What do you know? Another pause. Oh boy.
Wow. Earthshaker DC'd this time. That wraparound at that wraparound, I think they were just trying to catch someone out, but yeah. But Nature's Prophet has TP'd in here. Look, this could get really ugly. They got Ken here now as well. Who are they missing? Well, they got Miracle. They keep getting these fights with Shadow Fiend sort of not in the fight, which I think is really smart. They wait till he's sort of out of the way and then pile in.
Here's the problem, though, and this is what you talked about, is there's so many backup plans for this team. They have Fisher, they have Ice Pet, they have Vacuum, they have Wall, and they have Surge for the Queen of Pain, so it's really hard to kill anyone off. This, though, this might help with the Riki here. But look at the Queen of Pain. One blinks away. Silence onto Mr. P, and then Riki just hoofs it out of there. God, they get nothing. They get absolutely nothing, and that was with the jump. They chose that fight.
Right. Oh, Ken running right back into it.
Hey, this guy's a glutton for punishment. Let's be.
What was that?
He's a bit of a.
Can they got a stun on Night Stalker now? The Ice Path missed him by like a half a second.
That was almost 4 heroes dead.
I don't understand that at all.
That was, frankly, that's just a masochist. I mean.
Yeah. Now first departure back on the front foot, and they're probably going to take down this tower. Oh wait a minute. The thing is, MUFC, you know they've got something up their sleeves, right?
They've got a blink on Shadow Shaman. That's what's up their sleeves. Blink in, Hex one, drop the wards on another, shackle a third, and if you can even channel it for a second or two, maybe you can turn the fight around, but they don't have enough AoE. They don't have the team fight a first departure, and they're being punished for it.
Like that's too many dudes you've got to catch. You've got to, you Hex one, you ward another, but yeah, it's too many dudes to catch. Now let me see if they could take this Roche, that would be something. I think this is pretty ballsy, LD.
Oh, speaking of balls of steel from Ling, and he's gonna pay. He's scythed up. He will drop. Not the best position. First departure, man mode. Miracle casts that ult, and then actually chooses not to go through with it. Will cancel the cast. Could reapply it. He might get caught. No, he gets the Requiem off. Ken just melts. One more auto attack. They don't finish the job. Finish the job, damn it. Now they're gonna go look to pick off. Well, Net will die for that, but they don't get the Riki.
But Miracle took out Shadow Demon in like 2 seconds there. That was insane.
He almost insta-killed the Riki with his ultimate.
Brutal. Yeah. So yeah, that's obviously like we were just saying with all the big problems they've got with the team fight. Who do you focus down? Whatever you do, you've got to worry about Shadow Fiend too. And now if he gets an Aegis here, that's going to be absolutely. That could be game. If they can get He's got the Daedalus, if he gets the Aegis too, that could be absolutely massive. But they're going to make it as hard for them as they can. In goes Sharky, manning up!
Oh, he maybe was looking to steal that Aegis. Nice little initiation. By which I mean, well, it doesn't really go the way that he was quite hoping. And it looks like MUFC is in a bit of a pickle here. Maybe not. They're chasing on the Infatuated. He's dropping low. P potentially next to line. Miracle will come back, and Miracle... Well, he's gonna die for this. Does explode.
Oh man!
Yikes!
Yikes, indeed. That was
good.
Perfect wars.
Good thing the Shadow Fiend picked up the Aegis, so that could have been a disaster for.
Yeah, that really could have been
for that team. But well, they kind of dodge a bullet there. He still has his Daedalus if he doesn't have to buy back.
But now you've got this extra problem. This is the problem with Nature's Prophet. Oh! I thought he was gonna echo sound out. Down goes Nature's Prophet. I mean, anytime you lose a fight, you're going to have... If Nature's Prophet survives, he's going to be in there and pushing your things in an unpleasant way.
That sounds...
Just looking at these wards, What about it, though? You can't hear the telly?
That sounds about as sexually loaded as any little comment could possibly get, PFlex.
Yeah.
Ling writes down the Roche timer, but does it in all chat, so first departure will be like, yep, thanks for that one.
Nice.
In case we forgot. Now Darkseer.
Oh, quick Queen of Pain with the BKB now.
Yeah, they're getting big items. Darkseer's also got an Aghanim Scepter.
Okay, that's the nuts. That is an item I love to get on Darkseer. Now your big one-shot sort of wall and vacuum just turn into an absolute nightmare, especially up against guys like Riki, Night Stalker, you know, they get that sort of high auto attack damage. Now, if I'm not wrong, the outgoing damage from those illusions is now 140%, right?
Yep. And well, it's also a Riki as a Vlad, so they'll get a Vlad's of their own, which is
madness.
Which is just, you know, you get the damage aura, you get the lifesteal for your melee heroes, which is only Darkseer or Shaker. It doesn't really matter that much, and you get the armor as well. So it's a huge game to have Darkseer ults in general, and especially, you know, just the army of crap, as well. Just so annoying to. It gets cluttered. It gets cluttered, and you have a Night Stalker and a Riki who are fairly mobile for melee heroes, but are still melee heroes.
Yeah. Look at this, Darkseer still got boots 1. That is man mode.
Well,
I would have got treads at some point here, I must say.
Oh, this could be. Oh no, he turns the creep into a pig. Could have been a kill on Riki.
Unlucky.
Bit of a misclick there. It happens. All right, PyrionFlax, we're at a point in this game where I think it's time for you and I to place a little bet. 2,500 gold lead for the Dire side, 2,500 experience lead for the Radiant. MUFC, the experience, first departure, the sexy Shadow Fiend play, and the big AoE team fight. Who's your money on?
Yeah. At this point, it's so close, and I just like the last game. I honestly think it's going to hinge on either one mistake or one piece of brilliance. But I have to say, I would rather be on the Radiant side. I just think that First Departure's team fight is so cool, and I really want to see a massive all-in move by someone because, like you said, now you got the Darkseer ult is horrendous. Then any kind of big team fight, you got the Echo Slam, plus you got Shadow Fiend. Yeah, I'm going to put my money on First Departure.
Well, I'm also going to put my money on First Departure. They've got the team fight.
Bet accepted.
Bet accepted indeed. Challenge accepted, but. You know, it's also the lack of burst damage for MUFC is a real problem. They can't just kill heroes. This Shadow Fiend hits even a regular crit, let alone a Shadow Blade one, you just die. They have not only the big team fight, but they can just kill a hero quickly. That's something that can't be done easily for MUFC, and Net is going to be the first one to fall here. And first,
now they can go up these stairs.
Here comes the annoying base trade attempt though from MUFC. Wards are dropped. And now the fight breaks out mid. TP away, will escape. Miracle trying to fight this. Does hit a crit, drops the Riki down quite low. Ohaiyo giving chase. They will go into infatuated. Is Miracle going to stand and fight? Come on, Miracle, hit a crit. Hit a crit. He does 1,300 damage. Not enough, though. Not enough for a kill. And meanwhile, the Rack's not quite falling, but the tier 3 in trouble. Shadow Shaman juking away from one. Now Miracle getting kited. Miracle getting caught out of position. This is that veteran poise that we talked about. Where is the detection, though? That is not veteran poise. That is just, well, a bit of a blunder. Now Ohaiyo will get caught out. Ohaiyo will pay. Ken dropping low. Miracle as well. The Fissure turns it around. Oh, my God.
That was incredible.
That was the sound of your
What was Miracle? Must have been down to about 10 health.
Oh, look at Miracle! He wants in! He wants in top lane! He wants to go on Sharky! Oh, he wanted to go with 100 HP.
I think his teammates were screaming at him then not to do it, but look at the farm he's just getting here.
They got a Rex! They got a Rex after all that, Pyrion.
Oh.
Like you said, the profit effect.
Oh, now he's taken their bottom tier 2 as well. I mean, this, you know, any fight that you're in, and this is the other thing about him. He's got so much money. He can go and push a tower and a Rax down. You get to him, you kill him. He can buy back, and the threat is still there. It's almost impossible to counter him unless I don't know how you're supposed to do it. It's terrifying.
He could even be their late game damage dealer. He's got the BKB. He's already got all the utility items. Well, he could also be dead. Looks like he will be. Nope, scything up on the Apostle. Now TPing out. Are you serious? Are you serious?
Oh, they used everything. Earthshaker was like mashing his keyboard there. Unbelievable. And he's fine.
That's where you just rip it out of the... You just start slamming it. Slamming it against the table until all the keys pop out.
Oh, man. It's just poor old Earthshaker. He's absolutely everything and not a thing.
This is
brutal.
This is why you need that Shadow Blade and Crystallis. Nobody TPing away from you with BKB when you're an Earthshaker with those items.
Right. And now look at this Riki and Shadow Demon making a little jaunt across the river. Shadow Shaman's down here as well.
Ling hasn't really progressed on his items, but we'll see. He's been very elusive for a Shadow Shaman.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, he's put some clutch wards and some clutch sort of shackles and hexes. He's good utility, I think. I really think, you know, he's kind of underrated in this game. I think he's done a few things where they sort of turned things around. But look at this. They really want this Nature's Prophet, but they ain't gonna get him.
They're friggin' tired of him, and I think this is just, it's the understandable frustration of, you know, being in a position. Look at it. They're gonna do it to the other lane now. TP'd in, Sharky and Ling. They're gonna. This is. Oh boy, this is this.
It's just unflappable. It's the experience. They've just said, okay, X happens, we go to plan Y, and they just, you know, they've got it all. Push it all in. Keep the pressure on, because I think they know at this point. Excuse me. If it comes to a team fight, I think they probably are a lot more worried about a team fight than First Departure are. I think they would love a 5v5 at this point, First Departure.
Well, like you said, Pyrion, this is how you avoid a team fight. You just split push, and that's what we're seeing.
Yeah.
And frankly, this is how most Southeast Asian teams get their wins. This is their bread and butter. Poisson will be demonic perched up, dropping low. That does go through BKB. Miracle lurking in the wings.
He just went face to face with them there. Just they all just turned around.
Oh, bottom lane. They're gonna catch this pesky Shadow Shaman. Not the profit they were hoping for. But actually, maybe not. Maybe not. They're trapped in by the fissure. What a fissure! Are you kidding me? Now Poisson in trouble. The Crystallis is up. Oh god, if Sharky actually finds these kills. Nope, Sharky's gonna feed. Oh boy. Sharky got a little overeager. That was one of the most unfortunate fissures you'll ever see.
Yeah, that was a flax fissure right there.
That's a flax fissure. Oh boy. Poisson TP's in. Blinks to the high ground. What's going on, Ohio? Here comes Ken. Ken just getting mauled by the Shadow Feed. Opa Shadow Feed brings him down. Now working towards Ohio. Ohio in trouble. This is the chasing power. This is the level of lockdown. Well, that 2 BKBs that are down to 5 seconds. Just not enough anymore. MUFC making a lot of mistakes here in the towards that late game. 42 minutes in.
Yeah, it's, you know, like we were saying, I think that their overall strategy is probably stronger than First Departures with the split push, and their sort of, you know, their positioning is good. They get back in there, they're right back in it. But in the team fights, they're boned. They can't compete with First Departure here.
Well,
have you noticed it? By the way, in most team fights, seem to consist of Night Dude trying to catch Queen of Pain. She chugs slowly away while everyone else wails.
Speaking of trying to catch a dude, well, that's not gonna happen. Wow, Sharky gets a ranged Rex. It's not the biggest deal, but just such a pain in the butt. Meanwhile, they're trying to end the game mid. Well, at least get a lane of Rex of their own. They're going to go into Darkseer bottom. Darkseer's 4,000 gold. It would be great to force out that buyback. Somehow he surges away. He runs back in. Oh, God.
Slam! Oh, and the vacuum, too. That was beautiful.
In the infamous words of PyrionFlax, brutal. Sharky trying to TP away. Sharky will escape. They finally strike back, though, PyrionFlax. They get at least a melee Rex to call their own. The problem, though, they give up a tier 3. And I don't know if MUFC can actually win head-on, but they're about to get Aegis and Cheese. I think they can pull this off.
Yeah, I think, you know, if they blow all their ults and everything early in the fight, then they got the Aegis. I think if they were going toe-to-toe once everybody's popped all their sort of ults, I think it could get tricky, but who knows? They're still down 2 dudes. What can First Departure do? They're going to go for Roche.
Well, best way to stop your opponents from getting Roche, get it yourself, and
yep.
MUFC not again, like they can't really contest this. So maybe had a moment where MUFC could have thought about it, but now it goes to First Departure in exchange for the bottom and top lanes being pushed in a little bit. Aegis up on Shadow Fiend. He's already had this home with the Dominator. We'll see what he goes for next. Maybe he'll just get Boots of Travel, save for buyback. Could even go for a completed Satanic, which is, it's a nice item. Ken's getting a little feisty top lane.
Yeah, I mean, this is the, you know, I guess what you need to do at this point is leave 2 to defend and attack with 3 and hope that they keep up that push, but then Nature's Prophet can just TP back to base and all of a sudden it's 4v3, and I think that would be bad. But yeah, what can they do? I mean, this push, just all they can do is push the lanes out, but yeah, it's a tough spot. It's a really, really tough spot. They need to get MUFC to commit to a team fight, but I don't think they're gonna. I think they're gonna be smart enough to avoid it. Even if they get picked off, someone's there to push the lanes in.
MUFC, they don't really have much pickoff potential, despite having a Riki, a Night Stalker, a Prophet, and a Blink Shadow Shaman. You know, like on paper, a great pickoff lineup.
No, sorry, I mean for first departure.
Oh, I know. I'm just from the other side of things.
Okay, yeah.
There's Ling actually is. Oh, what a ward trap! Now the shackles to follow, I believe. No, the BKB popped. He will be able to escape, but that was a nice ward trap.
Miracle has got right into the middle of this.
Oh boy, big boy Shadow Fiend is here, and he's angry. He's angry. The fissure is coming. This is that endless. This is like chain stun hell.
Yeah.
Right now, just endless chain stun.
So much chase, so much. Yeah, the stun.
And mid lane, MUFC. They're gonna win this game with backdooring. If First Departure don't react quickly. Scythe up, gonna bring down Postal. Perhaps they get him. Triple kill on the other line of play by Miracle. But at what cost, period? I must ask, at what cost? Maybe at the cost of Ken's life. Earthshaker echoes that. If they don't get the racks, MUFC, it just doesn't seem like they can do quite enough. Now it's 4 heroes dead. Who's got buyback? That is the question. And
Who has got buyback?
And the answer is nobody.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
Well, this could be big.
Sharky, where's the double damage crit? Not gonna get it, and now the DD wears off. Sharky sprouts himself up. No TP for 1 second. And Miracle's just gonna charge down mid.
But look what Sharky's done. He's gone right down the bottom now, and he's gonna push this in.
This is whack-a-mole, man. I mean, this is just whack-a-mole Dota, and I've seen teams win like this. It really comes down to execution and a bit of luck. They're not quite finding the luck, but they're gonna lose later racks. I don't know at this point. It might be too much. The other thing I want to point out, Sharky is spending a lot of time focusing enemy heroes instead of just working on the buildings, which is questionable. They're going to trade that bottom lane of racks for another tier 3. Now all the lanes are exposed. All the lanes are vulnerable. Top lane is pushing in. But technically, it is MUFC who kind of have a lead at the moment. Miracle chasing lane, wants to bring him down. Look at the crits.
Oh! One more! Where's Lobby going? There you go. Have a totem in
Lane
the
will
face.
fall, and now Ohio's in trouble. This Shadow Fiend, too big to fail. Too friggin' massive. Angry Spirit Man running around, trying to find some kills. Not quite able to do so for an additional one. Now they catch out Earthshaker. Earthshaker might die, but look at the bottom lane. It's actually the Radiant. That's the Shadow Fiend trying to TP out. He doesn't boost to travel now. That's how he spent his gold. Oh, by the way, Cheese has just been sitting on the ground. Didn't even notice this period, but nobody needs that cheese.
How can you not get cheese? Ling should grab that cheese. Somebody should grab the cheese.
I guess these guys are lactose intolerant.
You know what? I bet nobody had a slot, and they're like, "What do you drop?" I mean, cheese is great, but what are you going to drop? Your Vlads? You gotta have a TP because it's up and down all over the place. What could Sharky leave behind? Mech? No, Sharky can't take it. The only one who can take it is Ling. And maybe he hasn't got a TP, so maybe he had a TP there.
Well, remember, it was the First Departure who took the Roshan, so...
Could anyone pick up the cheese, though?
Oh yeah, they had heroes who could pick it up.
I guess they don't know.
They must have just forgotten about it, didn't realize the cheese was there. It's not the biggest deal. Cheese is nothing like an Aegis. You're not even guaranteed to be able to use it if you get burst down.
Right.
It can be a game changer, or it can be absolutely nothing, whereas Aegis is always going to have an impact. But... It's just one of those things. It's been such a crazy back and forth game, so many pauses. You know, teams are going to start slipping up. It's just hard to keep your focus for this long.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, I think MUFC are probably going to be better at that, keeping focusing. Any criticisms I'm making of these teams is entirely done respectfully, but MUFC have been there and done that and played all these kind of tournaments for such a long time together. You've got to wonder about the concentration. Like you said, in the last game we saw that Mirana made a big mistake, big mistake. But in this game we've seen quite a few mistakes. I think
we've seen
because especially it's been a bit bonkers.
We've seen a lot of mistakes from MUFC who just. Which you kind of expect them from First Departure, right? Because they're the newer, inexperienced team. MUFC are the veterans. Sure, they've got a somewhat new lineup. At this point, they've been playing together for about a month, maybe a little bit more. Mm-hmm. But they're the veteran squad. You expect them to be the ones who win through superior decision-making, and I'm not convinced they've made better decisions at all this game. I feel like First Departure are the ones generally having more heroes in team fights, generally with better positioning. Overall, just across the board outplaying MUFC, and still it's anybody's game. It's an advantage.
Yeah.
For...
But yeah, I've got to say, I think that the only reason that they're still in this, in my opinion, is because of Nature's Prophet. Because of Nature's Prophet, then you've got, the fact that First Departure have to play differently. I think they would like to go full push, bam, and win the game, but they can't do that. I mean, they've got, their Ancient is practically exposed. It's down to one tier, what is that, tier 4 tower? So, what can they do?
You're right.
This game could go on for a very long time, is what it comes down to.
And it's the point in the game where not only do you check buybacks, you got to check glyph, and both teams have glyph right now. And as far as buybacks go, Prophet's on cooldown. He's 1,600 gold away. He's not saving for buyback anymore, period. He wants this Assault Cuirass. Just give you the minus armor and the attack speed, which, by the way, does affect building. So this is probably the best pushing item he could get at this point.
Yeah, impressive stuff. Assault Cuirass is great. He could probably sell his Hand of Midas at this point, no?
Sharky loves his money, but yeah, he really should be selling it. It's not the gold at this point is not as significant. When you're ulting and killing 3 creep waves, and possibly stealing some neutrals from your team, you don't really need that additional.
You don't need the Midas, yeah.
Additional 190 gold every 100 seconds, which is an extra 19 gold per minute.
Right.
It's not a big deal. I think my math's right there. It could be wrong.
Yeah. 190 gold every how often?
100 seconds. I might be wrong with that, but whatever. It's not that much. Sharky's gonna get caught. Disruption. And Disruption was moving around. Sharky doesn't have buyback. Sharky will fall. And without Sharky, there is very little backdoor potential.
Okay, so they're gonna de-ward. They must push now, surely. I suppose they could just send one dude. They're gonna send Miracle's gonna go back here to pick up this farm.
Yeah, this is bad. This is not good at all. He's dead for 80 seconds. They're gonna try and go for a bit of a gambit, force some TPs out, and that's gonna get caught trying to backdoor. Miracle actually runs away. He's like, there's no way the Shadow Demon's alone here. He's got to have backup. He didn't have backup.
But now, if he's, I don't think. Yeah, okay, so Ling's out. So this is the thing with the Boots of Travel. I love Boots of Travel. He can go back and defend, mop up, get 2 easy kills, and be right there for the big team fight. And I only just realized, LD, someone told me the other day, you can have more than one pair of boots. Mm-hmm. Who knew?
Normally it's 1 boot for each foot, but in this case, well, Shadow Fiend doesn't have feet. He's got this weird, stumpy, thing coming out of his buttocks. I don't even know. It's just like a weird, it's like a stool or something.
Stool. I think he's meant to be rising up out of hell, sort of poking into our...
I understand. I just choose to ignore
this
that.
This must be GG. This must be GG. We're gonna melt these Raktas in 2 seconds.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're at a point where it looks like the crushing weight of First Departure's team fight, slightly better coordination, and just much superior item selections on their carry. Shadow Fiend is an unstoppable beefcake and a half. Riki, he's got a lot of items, but he does not scare anyone. Well, maybe he does a little bit. Shadow Fiend BKB is popped. Here comes the Requiem. Gonna bring down Ling first. Now on to Ken. Dem crits. Dem crits. He might die, though.
Goodness.
He may die.
He probably is gonna.
No, he's dodging everything. Ken buys back. Is it actually not over? Is there any chance Shadow Fiend doesn't just come right back and win this game for his team? Ken's dropping low. They don't have detection for him. Now they turn back to the throne. And PyrionFlax, there's the GG.
Yep, that's it. We're going to game 3.
Oh boy.
That was a good game.
So I should try
A little long, but good.
I should try and correct my math there. It's what? A minute and a half? About a minute and a half.
Right.
And it's 190 gold, so
that's 90 seconds, so that's 2 gold per second and a bit. So 2.09 gold per second if my brain is working properly.
Your brain per second, right, which it's decent gold, but it's not essential at that point in the game. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps it up for game 2 and your math lesson for the day. If you want more math lessons, be sure to follow PyrionFlax, or the Gray Slacks Man, as he's currently calling himself.
Gray flannel, Gray flannel slacks, flax. Thank you.
Flax attacks. YouTube.com/Ted himself, Twitter.com/PyrionFlax, and of course myself, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube.com/ldDOTA. I make it simple, he makes it hard, but we both try to make it entertaining for you guys. I'm running on very little sleep, and I am very excited for this game number 3. The delusional comments will continue. The bad math will be back soon. But First Departure strike back, and really, they deserve a lot of credit. They are taking MUFC. Frankly, that first game looked for a few moments like they could have turned it around after an awful start in this game. Pretty much had control the entire way. Got out to a quick lead and just never looked back. MUFC, now the ones who have to be feeling the heat, feeling the pressure. You're watching the GEST Dota 2 playoff action coming your way. Game 3 coming up in a jiffy.